And for those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel where I grace ambitious women with all things self-love. Okay, let's get your big picture vision in mind. Take a moment to just visualize yourself being her. What does she look like? What is her demeanor? What tasks are she focused on? Okay, now come back to me. That woman you pictured is 100% you. It's just the version of you that you're building up. And guess what? I'm here to support you. When it comes to success, a lot of people focus on speed. But I'll let you in on a little secret. That is where most dreams go to die because burnout quickly takes over. Instead, we are going to focus on the better way because we'll be focused on trajectory and building the momentum that will cause a healthy snowball effect that will lead to sustainable compounding success. It is only 4 steps. And it's the only 4 steps that you'll need to rinse and repeat as your success continues to grow. Are you ready for this? Yeah, you're ready for this. Let's go. I know that you are feeling this longing to succeed. And I know you're probably feeling some pressure too. And you're probably also feeling a little bit nervous. They say that if you feel nervous, then you probably haven't prepared enough. But a lot of us prepare and we still feel nervous. And yes, I can totally raise my hand to that. I have been there. But why do we feel this nervousness? Because oftentimes, and sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it, but we'll be diminishing and dismissing our past accomplishments. A lot of the time, we're looking forward. And with that, oftentimes we're looking at all the stuff that we don't know how to do. Because that's what happens when we're growing. We're moving on to the next stage in our growth. And although we oftentimes see the end result in where we want to get to, the steps that lead up to that are kind of unclear, or at least in how to do that. And this can be so disheartening and get us thinking, wow, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. But you know what? There are a lot of things that you do know how to do. And during this time, we need to start bringing those things to light because that is what's gonna get you moving. So what we're gonna do is every time we are faced with a new challenge, or even right now, after you watch this video, before you start thinking about the next thing you have to do to reach your goal, take some time to reflect. Sit down, get out some pen and paper, or take out your laptop, open up your notes app or Google Doc, and at the top of the page, you're gonna title it My Accomplishments. Now, I don't want you to get too hung up on the size of the accomplishment or when it took place. If an accomplishment comes to mind from when you were like in kindergarten, I still want you to write that down because that is still a part of your story. And especially if you remembered it, it's definitely played a role in the person you are today. Then after you finish writing down this list, you're going to link it to the task that you're trying to accomplish. With each accomplishment that you have listed, what you're going to want to do is write, okay, I've accomplished this, and this is how it has prepared me to accomplish this task that I'm facing now. And you're going to want to do that with every single accomplishment that you've listed. This will help you to get rid of that limiting belief that you're not the right person to achieve the goal, or somehow you're not qualified. Because most likely you are. And doing this will really help you to start getting out of your head and start taking action. But before you start moving, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're actually headed in the right direction and that the actions you're taking are actually aligned with your goals and not going to become another hurdle in your success. Because some of the actions that we decide to take are actually another form of procrastination. So let's talk about this for a bit so we don't get stuck in that trap. Okay, so before we start moving, we're gonna wanna make sure that our aim is in the right direction. And yes, we might have the end goal in mind, but we wanna make sure that the steps along the way are also aligned and in line with we set and also the timeline that we've set. So when you have a main goal in place and you've also outlined the timeline in which you want to complete said task or said goal, my next best course of action is to research winners. And when I say winners, I'm talking about the other people who have gone through the steps that you are trying to go through, which you may not know yet, but they've reached the goal that you know you're trying to get to. So when you're researching the person who's achieved the goal that you're trying to achieve, what you want to look at is you want to look at not necessarily only their demeanor, because that can be a hit or miss sometimes, but you also want to look at the mini goals that they have accomplished along the way to achieving your goal. Because usually the road gets a little rocky when we don't know those smaller actionable steps to take on our way to the goal. So if you're looking at somebody who's achieved your goal before, be sure to try to figure out what those mini steps are that they took, because that is what will give you so much more clarity while you're on your journey. That way you're able to see the big picture and keep your focus along the way. So you've got your targets and you've got your focus locked in. But unfortunately, this is where a lot of people still get stuck. But not you, because this next step is all about keeping you in motion. A lot of people say, just start. But you know what? This may be somewhat difficult because oftentimes when we're just starting a new thing, that is when the self-doubt starts to creep in. But you know what? That is when, instead of looking at the big picture, we zoom in and we focus on that one small step that we have to take to start right now. And then we build from there. The journey is not about doing just one thing right. Sometimes it's about doing one thing over and over and over again until you get it right and you improve. And on top of that, as we're improving and we build more capacity, because things often get easier as we're improving, but when we get to that point, oftentimes we have to start thinking about the other thing that we have to add on to our task list to get the ball rolling even faster. The key here is to start going and keep going. It's all about building that momentum, and that momentum will come with consistency. But here is my caveat. You have to remember that taking consistent action does not mean to cut out all breaks. Sometimes we get into this mindset that if I'm consistent and if I muddle all these things together all at once, then I'll get to my goal faster. But you know what? This will just lead to faster burnout. And that's not what we want. We want our success to be sustainable and to be able to have the capacity to grow over time. So to do that, you've got to take care of yourself and work at the pace that you know is sustainable for you in the season that you're in. It's so funny. In the current season that I'm in, I've decided that moving forward, Sundays are a non-negotiable rest day. And what that means is that no work is being done on Sundays, like at all. And what I found is that literally by Sunday evening, I'm itching to get back to work. But it's not this itch of like, I'm not doing enough and I need to keep doing more. It's this itch of excitement. Like I'm just so excited to get back to work because I know all my tasks and my goal itself is aligned with who I'm trying to be, my values, and just what I want to be doing with the rest of my life. So yeah, speaking from experience, consistent action and rest days and rest periods, they blend together so well. It really just creates this lifestyle that feels light and airy as opposed to stressed and impatient. And because I'm always in this state of looking forward and being in this state of growth, which I know a lot of you are probably in that state too. The thing though is that when you're always in a constant state of motion, the goalpost is always changing. And this can get discouraging after a while if you don't do this next thing. great that you've gotten started. Claps for you. But the thing is that when we're in a constant state of growing, we have to make sure that we are keeping track of our progress. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, it's so easy when you're looking forward, you forget and you diminish all of the accomplishments that you've achieved so far. It's these past accomplishments, even the ones that we've completed just the day before, that are going to catapult us and move us closer towards our goal. So don't forget about them. If anything, you want to highlight them. Become aware of your progress and make sure that you're celebrating along the way. And no, this is not being drastic. You don't have to go on a shopping spree every time you've completed a checklist item. But even something as simple as putting another check mark on your habit tracker or giving yourself an at-home spa day at the end of the week, these things make you feel great about your progress and also allows you to take note of them and really pat yourself on the back for everything that you've done and all of the hard work that you're doing, especially the hard work that nobody else sees. So if nobody else is going to be there to hype you up while you're doing the many things that will lead to your exponential growth, you gotta do it for yourself. Because it's you who has to keep in mind on your journey that these little things are what's gonna make the huge impact over time. I'm so excited for you to take that next step in your journey. And again, like, congratulations, you, by watching this video, have kind of just leveled up your mindset a little bit, and you have been able to check off that little box of mindset upgrade for the day. And that is one small step that you chose to take today to get you closer to your goal. So if you're looking for more content to help fuel your growth on your unique journey, I highly suggest that you subscribe to my channel, and don't be afraid to take a peek at the other videos that I have laying around over here. I made them specifically for you. So with that being said, I really hope to see you in the next one. But until then, bye.